Well, good evening, everybody. Today we are here to talk about scales, and I have the two most important tools that I think are necessary when we're beginning our scale practice. Something to write on and something to write with. How many of you are just sort of overwhelmed by the whole scale study thing? Probably not all of you, but I'm sure that there's a good portion of you that are. I was. When I was a young undergraduate student, scales were not my friend. I didn't make time for them because I wasn't good at them. And I wasn't good at them because I didn't make time for them. And so it became this really nasty negative spiral effect where I actually got worse at my scales over time based on avoidance. So I'm going to give you a procedure that works whether we're talking about major, natural minor, harmonic minor, or melodic minor. We're going to follow the same system all the way through, from the most straightforward of the major scale all the way through to the most difficult key of a melodic minor scale. Okay, so here's what we do. We start with the piece of paper and the writing utensil, and we write out the notes of the scale. So in the case of this first one, I'm going to write C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. There is one octave of a C major scale. Okay, plain as day, very simple. But I want you, when you write it out, and it's not about whether you do or don't understand the C scale. It's about understanding the procedure. You're going to read it out loud based on what you see on the page. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. You're going to chant the scale ascending and descending. One octave is fine. I want you to get comfortable with saying the alphabet forward and back, because that's what you're going to have to do. It's what you're going to have to process when you play the scale. Okay? So, yes, that's super easy in the key of C. And if you can understand the procedure and you can do that, then you can eventually do that on all 12 major scales. And you go whatever speed you need to go to accurately chant those notes in whatever key that you're dealing with. When you understand that with all 12 of the major scales, then we start talking about natural minor. And I'm going to talk about relative minor. I think this is important. Yes, some will say just go down 2 steps from the tonic and the major key, and that will get you to the relative minor key. Fine, if that works. But in my experience, students tend to forget the accidental when they drop down 2 steps to the minor key. So I tell everyone, you go up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 6th scale degree. You circle it on your page. That is now your relative minor key. A to A in the key of C. That's relative minor. A natural minor. A to A, no sharps, no flats. You take the time to write it out and you chant it forward and back. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Now I'm speeding it up for the sake of this video so it doesn't last 10 minutes, but this is what you do. And then if you're going to do the harmonic minor form of the scale, I won't write it out again, but you would write it out again, and you would raise the 7th scale degree because that's what you do in harmonic minor, and you would chant that scale with that accidental, up and down, even though it's the same up and down. We're following the procedure, we're following the process. And then when we get to the melodic minor form of the scale, where you raise the 6th and 7th scale degree on the way up, and then you remove those accidentals on the way down, you chant that as well. The reason we're chanting up and down on all forms is because the procedure is the same, whether it's major or any form of the minor, whether you need to adjust anything differently up and down. We're following the same procedure. If you can do this on every scale, if you can take the time to do this, you will have an understanding and practical application of the knowledge of the key signatures that you already have. It's not enough to know that the key of B flat is 2 flats, and those are B flat and E flat. It's important to take the time to think through this process. If you can make this process work in major keys, then you can take the time to go slowly through the minor keys and do the same thing. I can tell you, I would be blown away if it didn't make a difference in your scale practice. If you put this into practice now at the beginning of October, you still have plenty of time until your jury, which is probably sometime in December. Wouldn't it be great to walk into that room and not have to worry about what key they ask for, not have to worry about what scale they ask for? If you're if you're trying out for all region or all state and they have scales as a part of your requirement, wouldn't it be great to not have to roll the dice and hope that they don't ask for G flat major? Hope that they don't ask for G minor? Hope is not a strategy here. The best thing that you can do is to make all of your scales equally familiar, and then you don't have to worry about it. You can just show up, review the scale once you see it on the sheet, and you feel good because you've done the work. I promise that if you implement this, you're going to be glad you did come December. Best of luck, and if I can help with anything else, please let me know.